Hello, bingo barkers and boss fights. My name is TV Skyn, and welcome back to the Mageseeker, where we are truly in the end game now. We are at 93% completion, and things have come to a head. Like, Lux's camp is going to be under attack soon by our dear estranged friend, and we need to do a thing about that, and that's literally the only mission we have available, so that's the only mission that we're going to go on. No more side missions. I just came back from Lux. She won't leave Terabithia. Wisteria's headed there now. She plans to execute every mage she finds. Shyvana left. She's not coming back this time. Good! I let her go too far. I let the Mageseekers seize too much power. Yep. And now the people I love are in danger. Oh no! The people you love are in danger? Oh, well, that's terrible, Jarvan. I bet that none of the people outside of, like, I bet none of the mages can relate to that. I bet none of them have felt that way for 15, 20 years. You wanted to make your father proud. You wanted to be a good king. No, he didn't. No, he didn't, Garen. He literally did not. He didn't want, he didn't want either of those things. He didn't want to. What he wanted was revenge. He wanted to kill everyone who, like, took his daddy away from him. No. Oh, there we go. I wanted to be a strong king. My father wrote a royal command before he died. He wanted the Mageseekers to stop all the arrests. When I saw what he'd written, I destroyed that letter. Everyone was so sure Silas had killed him. Forgiveness felt weak. I know what you mean. When I learned Lux was a mage, I was scared. Oh. For her, yes. But I was even more frightened of what people would think about me. Yeah, 'cause you're a coward. You're both cowards. But I was wrong. If the people we love have magic, Jarvan, we have to protect them. And any other Demacians should be free to do the same. Little late. Too late. Too late. Too late, Jarvan. Too late. You... Atrocities were done on your authority, buddy. You're not walking away from this. Like, if you're walking away from this one, it'll be without the crown and without any noble position anywhere. And then you can go and be a citizen and farm some shit or whatever. But you can get the fuck out of the palace. We must stop the executions before this Mageseeker madness spreads any further. Return to Lux. Keep her alive. And if you find Wisteria, tell her to stand down immediately. If I see Shyvana, what should I tell her? Tell her, no transformation is forever. Too late. You cannot fucking unring this bell. Like, we saw the laboratories. On your authority, Jarvan, was this shit done. This cannot be walked back. This is it, everyone. Now we face the Mageseekers on our own turf. They may have numbers, but they don't know this forest like we do. None of this would have been possible without your bravery and sacrifice. I used to fight to save myself, but today I fight for you. For the new Demacia we're building together. For freedom. For freedom! The Mageseekers are not particularly stealthy. They've never had to be. I think they'll attack the southern and eastern gates. We should guard those. We'll be ready. Not frightened, are you? Me? Frightened? That's a good one. I'm not the same girl you knew in prison. These past months have changed me. You're becoming the warrior I always knew you would. And best of all, I'm no longer alone. They're here! They're attacking from the north! Shit, they've got raptors! Well, well, a surprise attack. The swine do learn. Oh, that's a lot of dead people already. But hey! Oh, okay. What the hell? Wait, hang on. I got hit by something. I don't know what it was. Doing a nasty chunk of damage. This one. Oh, it was probably an arrow, but it was inside the other AoE, so I couldn't see its indicator. Yeah. Those should really, like, stack properly so you can see them both. Like with an additive layer or something. Okay, now... Again, how does that hit me? I was outside that AoE, come on. Okay. You have a lot of health. You sure do. There we go. Silas, they need you at the southern gate. I'll help the mages here. Okay, shields up, priority 1. Ow, what the hell? Ah! Oh, hey! No, you don't have any mages with you? Okay, well, we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Okay. Bunch of punching.
There are too many. I can't hold them off forever.
Now ult them. Ult them.
In need of my magic again, Silas? They need you at the east gate.
Lux, don't you know your own combo? You have to ult. Okay, well, fine, fair enough. There isn't anything hidden around here. No. Boy. What a time to sneeze. Yeah, no, that's all closed off. Cool, cool. Come on. Grab when I tell you, though, Silas. Oh, well, that killed him instantly. Cool. Yeah, could I please use that spell again? Because that was lovely. The way it just blasted them to pieces. Oh, come on. Oh, fuck yeah.
Silas, we found the Mageseekers' encampment. It's an abandoned fort nearby. Let's go end this.
Did you think we'd let you attack Wisteria without us?
Admit it! You need our help!
Ready? Charge! Hey, Ruku, weren't you supposed to not be fighting right now? Okay, fine. Too little, too late, Garen.
Lux, I was so worried.
Garen, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I should never have left you. I should have been on your side from the very beginning. I promise. And now and always, I will be.
So you're not arresting any more mages?
No. Jarvan and I agree. The Mageseekers are the real threat to Demacia. He wants Wisteria to stand down, but I don't think she'll follow orders.
I'm glad you and Jarvan have come to your senses.
It took me too long. I should have stood by my sister, no matter what.
Also, shouldn't have murdered all those people. Just, you know, casually. Just gonna bring that up, that you murdered a lot of people. You just, boy howdy, there sure were a lot of murders because of you.
You're here now, though, and we have lots of lost time to make up for.
Or, Lux, just, I know he's your brother, I know he's your bro, but also a lot of murders.
Right. Come on, little sister. Let's fight.
But, you know, this is part of what Silas meant when he said that he and Lux will never quite see eye to eye, because Lux is from the nobility, and she's still going to be willing to allow, like, for the people that she knows, you know? It's the same attitude Jarvan demonstrated, right? That thing of, like, well, if it's people that I know, if there's, like, people with whom I have a personal connection, then I know that they have good hearts and they have the best of intentions, therefore we'll accept them, right?
Go on, I'll take care of this guy. I hope he likes a little bit of chaos. I'll hold him off. You two take the other path.
Bleed them dry, boy.
Oh, that's the wrong voice for Silas.
Today is the day the Mageseekers will fall.
Shyvana, but I thought she was King Jarvan's pet.
Is she attacking us?
Nah, I think you're fine.
Even Jarvan's bodyguard fights for us. Did she turn the prince's heart?
Doesn't matter, it still needs to be torn out, or at least he needs to not be prince anymore, is the thing. Because you can't do a genocide and still get to be in charge. You can't do it, not even a little bit, not even for a little while, not even if you realize it was a bad idea. It is not an option that you can have in a society. If someone just gets to kill a whole bunch of people and be like, whoopsie doopsie, guess I had a bad day.
Silas, I beg you, please don't do this.
Your tricks don't work on me anymore, Rain.
You can save so many lives, Silas. Just stop all of this.
Get out of my head!
Your friends are all going to die, and it'll be your fault. Just like when you killed me.
It was my fault, but I didn't kill you.
This is your fate, Silas. To hurt everyone you love.
Enough. Don't listen to her. Leilani made a choice. She gave herself for all of us. Yes, you're right. And we owe it to her. To end this. Go. I'll hold him off.
Oh, goody. Could you please regenerate your spell so I can use it again? Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I admit that. Okay, we're getting there. Hey, there she is. Hey, dipshit! Silas, my old friend, you could have been freed of your anguish, but instead you chose pain.
Out of the two of us, I think I'm the only one who's free.
Not even bothering with phase 1 this time. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Saves us some time. Okay. Ow. Ow again. Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah, okay, right. She turned that in the other direction. Fair enough. Right, that's your I can't get hurt and then attacking me will heal me thing. Okay. Okay, and then big sword, and you missed. Oh. Ow. Okay. What are we doing now? Oh, big hands. Lots of hands.
Your magic afflicts you like a disease, Silas. I will put you out of your misery. Don't you remember? I used to be like you, tormented by magic.
She says her magic's under control. But this does not look like control.
Make it stop!
Drink this. It will quiet the magic.
Wait, her little problem might become useful with a few tweaks.
I love his animation. I love absolute freak show he looks like when he walks and moves. His overly dramatic behavior.
Wisteria, do you trust me? And then, for the first time, I was free.
No, you weren't. Girl, like, really? That's not what free looks like, lady.
I haven't had a fit in 2 months. Am I cured?
Yes, Hesper's little experiment. Oh, no, that's Eldred.
Yes, Hesper's little experiment was successful.
So my magic is gone?
No, transformed. You should be able to control your powers at will.
I don't want to. I want the magic gone.
Yes, feel your anger. Your emotions may trigger it.
The pain. It's gone. I just feel strong.
Think of what you could do with your powers for the Mageseekers, for Demacia.
Thanks to the Mageseekers, I was a new person.
Yeah, a shitty one. Like, girl. Can I please have that spell? Thank you.
To Eldred, she was an investment. But to me, she was a sister.
Rain, there's no need to suffer like this. I can help you regain control. Do you trust me?
And so we see her replicating the abuse that she herself was subjected to. It is the classic pattern. Ow.
I can't save Wisteria, but I can save Rain.
Louisiana rain is falling on my feet. It doesn't have to end this way, Silas. Another life is possible.
I thought I had it worse than you in prison, but I see now I was lucky. Your imprisonment is far more insidious. They took everything from you. Can't you see?
I'm giving you one last chance. Come back to us.
And live in chains again, bound by duty and lies. I'd rather die.
Then I shall gift you your freedom.
It's no accident, I suppose, that she's designed somewhat after Kale here. Because, of course, Silas has Morgana's... Okay! Silas has Morgana's blessing, so... Okay. Ah! Fucking hell. Okay, what does that do? Oh, Morgana spell. Nice. Thanks, girl. I need the help, I think. Yeah. Okay. Fuck. Okay. I think I was supposed to try and stop that from happening. I wasn't really sure because, like, with her shield thing in... Oh, god damn it. Okay, that didn't work. With her shield thing in her other form, attacking her just healed her, so... Damn it! I was trying to time the ultimate and I missed it. But I think we've got this anyway. Okay. There might be another phase to this, though. Okay, yeah, epilepsy warning there.
It's over, Wisteria.
The poison, that is magic, will consume you.
I pity you, old friend. You've always hated yourself so completely.
Don't pity me for knowing the truth. Rain, she needs help.
I will watch over her. I promise.
Those you love will hurt you the most. I hear the pain in their song. There are notes of bitterness and regret, but also a new tone of acceptance and respect.
Silas isn't going to end his rampage. We will have to stop him, one way or another.
We couldn't have beat the Mageseekers without his help. I'll always be grateful.
He's still a murderer.
You don't have... Oh, shit. Fuck. I accidentally clicked the fast forward button.
Garen, you don't get to say shit about being a murderer. Not one fucking thing. Not one word. Not a single word. Fuck you.
Damn it. I'm really pissed I accidentally skipped that dialogue.
You certainly show me that's true, Laxana. The rebel, the exile, the leader, the mage, my sister. Are you ready to go back to the city and be a Demacian again?
I never stopped.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
I could use some help talking sense into Jarvan the Fourth. I don't have your power with people, and I think he'll listen to you.
As long as you promise not to secretly betroth us again, I'll give it a try.
He's a murderer. It's another
The
killer.
king must keep many things in balance.
Yeah. From atop his throne of corpses.
Honor and duty tip his scales in one direction.
No, they don't.
Love tips it in another.
There's no, honor and duty doesn't tip them anywhere. He has not been honorable or dutiful even once in his time as king.
I, Jarvan Lightshield IV, decree that all Mageseekers are ordered to cease their operations immediately. The city known as Terbesia shall be a place of refuge for mages, governed by Luxana Kranga. There we go. Now Lux is officially ordained with power bestowed by the Demacian state, right? As king, I promise that I will find a way to bring them in safety in Demacia. Any noble who still supports the Mageseekers is henceforth my enemy. Look for me on the field of battle if you dare. Is it enough? Will you ever feel safe here again?
No, not Jarvan. Jarvan, not so long as you're on the throne. That if you genuinely, from the bottom of your shitty little shriveled heart, genuinely give a shit about those of your subjects who are mages and about them feeling safe in your nation, then you can't be on the throne, Mr. Man who ordered the Mageseekers to commit a genocide. You cannot be on the throne. That can't be... It's like, that's not how the fuck... Hey, pal, hey, buddy, hey, I know last week I was coming after you with a shotgun, but hey, bygones be bygones here. Come to my house for dinner. I promise I don't have a shotgun under the table. Hey, well, I take water under the bridge. Like, it's not how it works. Get the fuck off the throne. Like...
The rebel leader mourns the dead. He does not know, but they still stand beside him.
Kellen, Leilani, all the fallen. I'm sorry you're not here to see the world you built for us. If I could speak to you one more time, would you think it was worth it? What would you do if you were still here? Can I live up to the legacy you've left? I hope someday I might be worthy of your courage.
They gave him a fucking daughter, though. Like, come on.
So, I'm pretty sure we're champions of Demacia now.
You better be. Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight featuring Ruko. The Raging Blacksmith.
Think the king will give us a medal. He's made a few concessions, but a promise made under a knife's blade will fail. Demacia's rulers will never relinquish power. It needs new leaders.
Thank you, Silas. Thank you, please, for the love of God, thank you.
Our work is far from over.
And we need allies. I've spent time up in the north. Strong people, if a little wild. They may help us. And that's why he goes to... Yeah.
Wild thugs? Ha! I can straighten them out!
New allies. Intriguing. But first, let us celebrate.
So that's why he goes to the Freljord. Yeah, that makes sense.
Today, you have bought another day of freedom for yourselves and your friends. Enjoy it. Tomorrow, we will make plans to flee the rest of this land. No more aristocracy. No more rulers. No more kings. We will show every Demacia that magic is everywhere, and magic is rising. Never forget with the lesson we learned today. Each of you has the power to make it happen.
The world spins, and Demacia changes again. In some ways, it is returning to what it once was.
Shyvana, just come to the rebellion, please. I like, Silas's dick is so much better than Jarvan's. I promise you, if that's all it is.
But the small differences we make each day. Their actions may have changed the lives of only a few, but stand to change many more. The wings of the smallest bird may change the weather itself. And they have raised a storm to behold.
And that was the Mageseeker, a League of Legends story. At the end there, we do see the limitations, right, that Riot Forge operate under. This is the thing we talked about, where there is a certain limit to what they can do about the status quo, right? Jarvan, it's like, there's no moral universe in which Jarvan can be allowed to be king anymore. I just cannot. But the game still sort of has to pull back at the last second, right? Like, it has to pull back at the last second and make Jarvan and Garen redeemable, in a sense, right? Like, it kind of has to do that so that they can still stay champions in the game in League of Legends, right? So that they can still be protagonists in their own stories without being tainted by being, you know, fucking monster, like, by having participated in an actual genocide, which is what Jarvan ordered, a genocide, and Garen participated in it, right? And so they have to pull back at the last second and show that no, they can come, they're not all bad. They can come to their senses. They can be on the good side of the right people. Yeah, sure. Which is something that, like, I don't accept that, because, like, and it's also a thing about the way that it's also a thing about the way that the story is written. Like, it's sort of an unavoidable problem that the story has on a structural level, is that you have broached a subject that is so severe, right? Like, there's really, as I've said at the start of this series, what Demacia is doing to the mages, what they did to the mages, especially what we saw them do to the mages in the course of this game, is a genocide, right? And that's not hyperbole. That's not me going, like, overboard or, like, overinterpreting. Like, if you go through the checklist of what are the properties of a genocide as defined under the Geneva Conventions, what Demacia is doing is that, right? They did a genocide, which is among the worst moral horrors that you can possibly even imagine with a human imagination. Like, there's essentially no worse crime than that. And it's like, you kind of can't have Garen and Jarvan, like, oh yeah, no, they're still good guys. Like, for me, that's impossible. Like, you cannot pull back from that and say, hey, a person can grow and change and be, like, improved from, like, that's a bridge too far, right? Like, that's a moral line that once it's crossed, you can't go back from it. You just cannot, right? And so my disappointment is that I don't think Riot will ever have the balls to deal with that. Like, I think Riot will ever have the balls to deal with that. Like, I don't think they'll ever have the balls to actually go, no, this... Oh, I see the name of one of my friends there. Fuck yeah. I don't think they'll ever really have the balls to go back and say, yeah, no, these two guys are, like, they cannot play the role of hero anymore. They cannot play the role of protagonist anymore. Like, they cannot, you know, they can be protagonists, but they can't be heroic, right? We can no longer cast these as heroic characters. They now they have to live with the moral compromise of what they have done, right? I don't think Riot will ever have the balls to do that, because that would require some really complex moral reckoning with the content of their story. And the trouble with that is, it's not intentional. in the least way. Like, it's not intentional on the parts of the developers or the writers at all. But when you create these stories where the characters themselves are more important than the ramifications of their actions, right? Like, where it's more important that Garen and Jarvan still get to be heroic characters, it's more important that they still get to keep that trait of being heroic than actually reckoning with the ramifications of their actions. The rhetoric you create by doing that, and it's not intentional again, but the rhetoric you create is one in which if someone is really sorry, and if they only had good intentions, and if they promise they didn't mean anything bad by it, then it is reasonable, like, it is reasonable to forgive them for doing genocide. And when you start to think about the kinds of people that would apply to in real life, like Adolf Eichmann, for example, might, like, is the kind of person who might be exonerated by that sort of logic. It's like bad. It is not good. It is in fact super bad. I will say, on the other side of that, this game has been remarkably clear-sighted in, like, the way that it's presented is also that, like, Jarvan thinks he can still be a king who's still in charge, because that's how he's been raised to think, right? That's who he has been raised to be. He's been raised to be the protagonist of his own reality. It's like, I am Jarvan of the Lightshield family, and my duty to Demacia is that I have to be king of it and be a good ruler of it. So therefore, like, I completely understand why Jarvan thinks this way. Why he thinks that the crimes he has committed are, like, things that can be gotten over, right? Like, things from which he can recover his honor. I completely understand why Garen would buy into it. I understand why Lux doesn't call the bullshit out, because she's also born into that world. She's born into that kind of thinking, where the primacy and the rulership of the nobility is just an unquestioned assumption. Like, it's just like, no, yeah, of course the nobility needs to be in charge. Of course there needs to be a king. Of course the king needs to come from a good family like the Lightshield family. And, like, oh yeah, the Lightshield family, maybe they make some mistakes, but overall they always have Demacia's best interests at heart, and that's the thing that's most important. I completely understand why the characters think this way. And so, like, when I'm sitting here yelling at Jarvan for being a piece of shit who has to either die or abdicate the throne and go away forever, that's not me yelling at the game. That's me yelling at, like, the character as though he was a person. But that's not, like, bad character writing. That's threads. Like, that's completely consistent with who Jarvan is as a person, right? Like, he would do that. And I do like that the game does call it out. That Silas is like, yeah, no, like, the revolution isn't over just because Jarvan, like, said, hey, let's stop doing the genocide actively. The revolution continues until these motherfuckers are no longer in power, because they can no longer be in power. Like, Silas has a clear-eyed recognition that, like, no, there will not be any peace whilst these people are in charge. While this aristocracy, this nobility, holds all the power in the nation, while people are not free to determine their own destinies. Silas knows this, and he articulates this, and he does it a hell of a lot better than he ever has in the lore before, and that's nice to see. Like, it is nice to see that there is a character in here who's like, who actually has a not a complete, but it's some liberation theory in his mind, right? Like, there is a character in who does represent that perspective. That is nice to see. I'm glad they did this with Silas. I'm glad they gentled him a lot. Like, I think maybe I will say they might have made him a little too gentle on some fronts. Like, they really did pull him back to being a little bit of a teddy bear at the end there, with his adopted daughter and being like the camp dad to all of these people. I think maybe that pulls him a little bit back, right? Literally, nobility and aristocracy. Why would he abdicate? It's his birthright to rule. Your rant makes no sense. No, it isn't. And he would do it if he had any sense of honor. Like, if he had any sense of responsibility. What the fuck do you mean born to rule? No, it's not. No one's birthright is to rule. Like, I guess you're talking from his perspective, right? That, like, he believes he was born to rule. Yeah, sure. And he should get over that. Because that's a stupid thing to think. Like, that, if you think that, you're a dumb motherfucker. Especially after you've just, like, murdered hundreds of your own people. Because you got mad that a bad thing happened to you personally. It's like, oh, a bad thing happened to me, so I'm gonna kill a bunch of people about it. It's like... The moral reasoning that he needs in order to understand that he's a bad person who needs to not be in power anymore is available to him. He could reach this conclusion on his own. He doesn't need me to yell at him to figure it out. That's how the character is written. Yeah, I've already talked about that. That's how the character is written. But, like, you have to understand him. Like... You can't just excuse him because, oh, that's just the way he is as a character. Like, you have to comprehend his flaw. Your rant makes no sense? No, it makes sense. Like, that's part of understanding the character, is understanding how he's in the wrong. You know? But yeah, like... At the end, like, this game goes about as far as it could. I think. This game goes about as far as we could reasonably expect a game like this to go from a company like Riot. Like, Riot is, like, much like Disney, right? It is a big corporation. It has a lot of employees who are, like, good, sensible, creative, interesting, kind-hearted people, and then it's run by a bunch of libertarian assholes, right? A bunch of libertarian, liberal assholes, like, who donate to the Republican Party because, hey, it's in the spirit of balance and fairness. Like, that shit, right? It's run by those people. It's run by a bunch of Silicon Valley jackoffs who, like, spend all day jerking each other off, buying Bitcoin and replying to Elon Musk. And so within that framework, within that... those material conditions for production, this is probably about as far as they could possibly go. By having a character, like, actually articulate out loud that, hey, people should be held responsible for their actions, and also kings are bad, actually. Don't check Mark Merrill's likes. Don't ever be on his Twitter, ever. Mark Merrill, oh my god, fucking Mark Merrill. That fucking guy, one of the things, this is not, like, the worst thing he's done, but one of the things I remember is that when Seraphine was, first published, and sort of the whole thing about her lore having some problems came out, Mark Merrill, this motherfucker, went on Twitter and was like, oh no, yeah, our writers made, like, that was stupid and we're gonna change it. Just throwing his writers under the bus. The leader of the company just going out there going, yeah, no, the writers fucked this one up, we're gonna change it. And I remember seeing that, like, like, that it's not remotely the worst thing he's done, but it's just something that clarified to me so much about who he is as a person. That this thing of, like, his company, his people, his employees, and taking absolutely no fucking responsibility for the products that they put out. Right? Instead of saying, yeah, we fucked up. Yeah, no, like, that's on us as the leadership. You just said, nah, the writers are stupid. We're gonna change it. Like, as though he fucking gets to be a part of the circle of critics who are calling the problems. Like, no, fuck that guy. Absolutely fuck that guy. Jarvan is Mark's self-insert. Not quite. Tryndamere is Mark Merrill's self-insert. Tryndamere was Mark Merrill's online handle. Tryndamere is literally named after him and designed after him. His character model is designed after Merrill. But yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was, this is about as far as a game like that could go. This is about as radical as its politics could be under the circumstances. This is about as good as it could reasonably get. And, like, in terms of the story pacing, like, I feel like there are parts of it that could be paced a little bit better. Like, there are parts of it that it rushes kind of a bit to get to certain plot points. There are parts of the gameplay I have criticism about. Like, it does feel like a lot of the arena combat many times the combat challenge is just let's throw a large number of guys at you so that you have to dash for invincibility frames all the time, and then you can't attack as often. Like, sometimes the approach to difficulty just seems to be throw more dudes at you. I think it sucks, for example, that we didn't get to fight Nocturne for real. Like, it kind of sucks that they included Nocturne in the game as like a side plot character, and then we only get to refight another different boss fight, which, like, is like presumably because they didn't have time to make a full boss fight for him, but you know, whatever. Like, so I have my criticisms. There's definitely polish that's lacking. There's definitely places where there's spelling mistakes, there's grammar problems, there's like text that doesn't render correctly. Like a bunch of polish that I really kind of feel like they could have done. But I guess they had like, it's also a thing of like, you can never fix everything, but there are parts of this that lack an amount of polish that I feel like another 3 or 4 months of QA could probably have dealt with. This is me speaking not as a game developer at all. Like, maybe it would have taken 8 months. Who knows? Like, and they didn't want to delay it for that long. Who knows? But yeah, no, overall, I have had a great time with the Mageseeker. I've had a very good time with the story. I've had a great time with the characters, and the gameplay is fun. Like, I don't know if it's as infinitely replayable as something like Hades is, but it's definitely a game I would come back to. Did you use controller or keyboard and mouse? I used controller exclusively, and I would not be able to play this game with keyboard or mouse at all. I would not be able to. That's just not how I play this game. The same for Ruined King. They didn't have the budget for Tom Kench. Yeah, in part. Like, it's... I will say that it's very easy to sit after a game has been published and say, oh, this should have been there, that should have been there, this should have been fixed. Game development as a whole is... like, every game that gets published is a fucking miracle. I wanna emphasize that. Every game that ever gets published is a miracle, because the sheer amount of shit that goes wrong in game development is... yeah, you would not believe how much shit goes wrong in game development. Hey, there we go! Mimir, thank you for that cheer. I can't wait for my players to dethrone this idiot in my Demacia campaign. Ooh, that's gonna be satisfying to see. Yeah! Kick his ass! Like, I will say that. So, like, when I criticize the game, it's not from the perspective of, like, oh, the developers were lazy, or they didn't work hard enough, or whatever. It's from the perspective of, like, they should have had more time and resources to finish the game more. That's my criticism, right? Like, Riot Forge should have given them more time and resources. Like, that's the wish I have. Not that the developers didn't do a good job, just that they might have benefited from more time and resources with which to do it. But yeah, I think it's just about my conclusion, and you'll get my full extended thoughts on this game when I make my video about it, which I will do at some point. Not 100% sure when. I'll start writing it, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, right. I think I'm gonna go and catch up on, like, 100%ing the Silver Wings and stuff. I want to get all the Silver Wings. I don't care about 100%ing the rest of it necessarily, but I will get all the Silver Wings, and I will try and find all the lore notes. But that will have to be in a separate video, because for right now, we are calling this one to a close. So if you've enjoyed hanging out in the world of the Mageseeker with me, please hit the like, comment, and or subscribe buttons down below, because that'll let you know when, well, not more Mageseeker, but when other stuff comes out on this channel, like, for example, Tears of the Kingdom or Final Fantasy 16, which is coming up soon. God, there's so many games. So if you want to see that, you can subscribe here. You can head on over to Twitch and follow there, or subscribe there if you want to, because that'll let you know when I'm playing and streaming the games over there. And outside of that, I think I just have to tell you thank you very much for watching. Remember to be kind to one another. Have solidarity with those who are worse off than yourselves. And may the tides of history wash gently over us all.